Now, language models got their big leap when somebody stopped handcrafting datasets and just fed them the internet. Robotics has never had that moment because robot data does not exist on the internet. Somebody has to physically collect it. Xiaomi-Robotics-1 is an attempt to brute force exactly that problem, and the number attached to it is genuinely striking. More than 100,000 hours of real-world manipulation trajectories. Not simulation. Real hands, real objects, real hours. Let's look at what that bought them. The paper makes 3 moves that are worth separating, because each one attacks a different bottleneck in robot learning. The first move is collection. Pre-training runs on more than 100,000 hours of real-world manipulation trajectories gathered using handheld devices called UMI rigs. Those let a person record demonstrations without a robot present, which is what makes the hour count possible. You're no longer bottlenecked by how many robots you own. The second is labeling, and this is the quiet unlock. The team built a scalable automatic pipeline that annotates trajectory clips with natural language describing how the scene state changed. Hand labeling 100,000 hours is impossible, so without automatic annotation the data would just sit there unusable. And the third is the recipe borrowed openly from language models. Pre-train broadly, then post-train to align to specific tasks. Applying that split to robotics is the bet that breadth learned in pre-training will survive into the specialized model, which is exactly the thing they set out to measure. So what does this actually change about how robot models get built? Set the familiar approach against this one. The conventional path collects demonstrations for the specific task you care about, trains a policy, and then largely starts over for the next task. It works, and it is why robot demos are usually narrow. Every new capability carries its own data collection bill, so breadth is priced out of reach. This flips the order. Pre-train once on an enormous, diverse pile of real manipulation, then adapt to novel downstream tasks with minimal fine-tuning data. The claim is that the model follows varied language instructions in unseen environments out of the box, which is precisely the generalization robotics has been missing. Strip it back, and 3 findings are the ones worth remembering. The first finding is about transfer. Improvements from larger pre-training reliably carry through post-training into real robot performance. That is not automatic. It is entirely possible to pre-train broadly and then have alignment wash the benefit away. So demonstrating the gains survive is the load-bearing result. The second is that they report no signs of saturation. In plain terms, the curve has not flattened, so more data still appears to buy more capability. If that holds, robot foundation models are in the phase language models were in a few years ago, where the strategy is simply to keep going. And the third is openness. Code and models are published on GitHub, which matters for a claim like this. A scaling result that nobody outside the lab can reproduce is a press release. One that others can probe and try to break is evidence. All right, let's consolidate what this model contributes. Xiaomi-Robotics-1 is an open-sourced vision language action foundation model built to follow diverse language instructions across mobile manipulation tasks in environments it has never seen before. The training corpus here is more than 100,000 hours of real-world manipulation trajectories collected using handheld UMI devices, which decouples data collection from how many physical robots the lab owns. A scalable automatic labeling pipeline annotates trajectory clips with natural language describing scene state transitions, giving the action learning rich conditioning without any one hand labeling 100,000 hours. And it uses a 2-stage recipe borrowed from language models, pre-training for breadth, then post-training for alignment, with scaling gains transferring to real robots and no sign of saturation. More research like this over at standarity.com.